maker, I'm the timekeeper, and the clock is running out. I'm the toll taker, like a corpse maker. I'm your bone breaker, only shadows in the doubt. I throw dirt into your eyes for every sin and every crime. Like thorns launching to your side. Your last breath is your goodbye. Say my name, say my name. I am the grave digger. Take your life, take the blame. Call me the grave digger. Grave digger. I'm a fire starter, gonna burn on ya till your ashes on the ground. Not a king slayer, call me the queen maker. I'm a jawbreaker, don't even try to run your mouth. I throw dirt into your eyes for every sin and every crime. Like thorns launching to your side. Oh my God, what a sad little life. Say my name, say my name. I am the grave digger. Take your life, take the blame. Call me the grave digger. Grave digger. Say my name, say my name. I am the grave digger. Take your life, take the blame. Call me the grave digger. Say my name, say my name. I am the grave digger. Take your life, take the blame. Call me the grave digger.
Hey, y'all, welcome. So, we are here today with Super Duper and Sinister and myself, Anita. So, thank you guys for joining us today. We are here today to talk about GalaChain poker, you guys. Are you excited? Because I am brand new. So, let's get started. What do we got today? Super Duper, let's go with you first.
Yeah, so very excited to announce our new game, GalaChain Poker. It's going to be released in May. It's basically the next iteration of kind of the vision of the GalaChain, where there are going to be more and more games on the platform, and it's also literally the next evolution of social casino. Super pumped about this. The team's been working long, like many days and nights on it. So really excited to tackle the kind of the tough questions on this AMA.
That's awesome. So, do we have a set date of release yet?
So the team is still figuring that out. I would put it sometime in May. I don't want to give an exact date yet, just because there's so many moving parts. But
So
I would
it
say
may
around
happen.
middle of May.
All
May
right.
for
So
sure, but exact
that
day
is
probably been always May.
that's super exciting because it's poker. Come on, it's poker. So I have to ask the burning question right now. Why GalaChain Poker? And is this anything to do with Poker Go? Like, what's going on there? Do you have any answers for us?
No, that's actually an excellent question. So for those that don't know, we have Poker Go Play. I'm on the Poker Go Play team. That game is structured around a sweepstakes model. So the more you have net winnings, the more sweepstakes entries you win, and then you can eventually, hopefully, turn those sweepstakes entries into some real Gala prizes. But when we were developing the game, we felt like there's still a lot more complexity to unwind in that, and we didn't want to immediately kind of throw away that approach. We think there's still a lot of value in that, and there's still like more unpacking to be done. However, at the same time, we realize we need to tackle other types of core loops. Like the most important core loop for us to tackle is the idea of just rewarding users token based on gameplay. So if you played our other games, like Gala's often like experiments with kind of the tokenomics model, and we think this is a natural fit to kind of the poker game. So we're gonna maintain both poker games, right? Like Poker Go Play will still go live and strong. At the same time, we'll also continue to develop, expand, scale GalaChain. Both they'll have different experiences, but that's just how kind of casinos are. That's how poker is. There are so many different poker establishments. There's never just one like there's never just one game, right? So even in the App Store, right? You have Zynga Poker, World Series of Poker, Poker. There are infinite like number of brands to do. GalaChain is a blockchain company, right? So it's never going to be limited to one title, right? Or limited to kind of one brand. It's about expanding the amount of choices we give to our users, right? Because like everyone who supports Gala, right, would support us having as many games as possible, many active games as possible, many well-developed and thriving games as possible. So we're super pumped to kind of just support both titles. And we know that's going to be better for the ecosystem because, yeah, more poker means more fun.
I like that a lot. More fun is always a good sign, right?
The more the merrier.
Absolutely. So, are you able to take us through what new things GalaChain Poker has to offer?
Cool. Yeah. Paul, would you be able, or Mark, would you be able to throw up some of the screens?
Best I can do
Oh.
is this and hope that Paul does the thing.
Yeah. Cool. So we do have some screens. I'm not like a big PowerPoint person, but these are kind of some images which we can leak, which kind of show the vision, right? So next slide, please. So we're introducing GalaChain Poker. It's the first game where you can earn real rewards playing for free, right? Where we're giving you something based on gameplay. So very different from Poker Go Play, where Poker Go Play is all based on chance. So like some weeks you win big, some weeks you don't win at all. In GalaChain Poker, the core dynamic is pretty different, where you're earning tokens just on consistent gameplay, right? So it's definitely a first in its category, and especially when it comes to poker, novelty matters a lot. So next slide. The kind of the biggest introduction here is this token called GCHIP, which effectively kind of powers the Web3 ecosystem behind the game. Here's just a high level summary. The more you bet, the more GCHIPs that get emitted, right? So in the average Texas Hold'em game, if you bet like 1 million chips, one GCHIP gets emitted, right? So the more the ecosystem bets, the more GCHIPs get created. So the reason why we did this is to start kind of like giving back to our players, right? So if you go to the next slide. Sorry, the slide before. Skip one. Yeah, that one. So what would you use GCHIPS for? Immediately, what you can use GCHIP for is just extend gameplay. You can use GCHIP to purchase more chips, right? Like that's going to be on the first day, you can just buy more chip packs. So if you bet more, you play more, like you're going to get more of these kind of bonuses where you can play for longer. And hopefully then kind of just keep racking up more and more GCHIP. That's the first form of utility. If you go back to that previous slide. And then we'll go into it, but we'll have deeper things for GCHIP, such as like the ability to get like hand strength meters or like feed different AI systems to help you play poker. So that's kind of the core loop. You play, you get GCHIP, you can spend that GCHIP to play more, and then it becomes a very virtuous cycle. There's some deeper complexities to the game. So it's not like you we're just bet and you get like one kind of standard GCHIP payout. Like if you play in sit and goes, like the payouts are a bit different. Also, if you play in better rooms, you'll get more GCHIP. So we're creating what I think is a kind of ingenious system where we're rewarding players for playing at the right table, right? So one of the things that's kind of endemic in most poker games, right, is there are these really good players, but they all stick in the smaller tables. So they kind of just feed off the more novices as opposed to being where they need to be, right? Which is with the other sharks. So the way our system works is you get more GCHIPs by playing at the right tables, right? So that's the kind of new innovations that our poker game is doing relative to other poker games. You know, we're actually going to incentivize you to do the right actions, showing the right tables, right? And the end experience is the game's going to feel more real. It's going to feel more tangible when you give these tangible, real tokens to the player. The game becomes a lot more adrenaline fueled. It becomes a lot more exciting. Because one of the things you'll notice who play games like Zynga Poker, like World Series of Poker, it does like they're fun, but they don't feel real. It's like, oh great, I won 1 trillion chips. Like I feel
Interesting.
big, but it's just what it has to be tied to something real, right? And our game actually offers that. It's not real money gaming, but it offers something actually real. So when you know something real is tied to your actions, you're more connected to the community, you're more connected to the game, and you're more connected to your opponent, right? So in our own internal play tests, when we realize that real tokens are being emitted, it becomes like a whole next level experience. You kind of have to see it to believe it, but we do expect this game to be far more viral than the average poker game. Novelty matters a lot in the poker space. So really, really pumped to introduce both the kind of the Web3 community to our poker game, right? So of the 300 million or so people who are interested in Web3 and like digital tokens, we would probably estimate at least 20 million are poker players. But the real like thing that excites me personally is onboarding 180 million poker players who aren't actively tied to Web3 onto the Web3 ecosystem. Poker is like is always and historically been one of the greatest onboarding ramps to all forms of activity, right? It's much easier to get someone to play a poker game than it is to, like, let's say, create and understand how digital tokens work. There's something unique about poker that it's just somehow connected to Web3 in a way I can't even explain. and I've been on this project for a long time. So the next slide.
So I feel like,
Yeah.
sorry, just chiming in here a bit. I feel like the transition between the chips you would receive in a regular casino is much closer and much more tangible to digital currencies, and it just makes a lot of sense to implement this in a poker game, just because it would be, again, simpler to grasp, like you have mentioned.
Yeah, there's just this intuitive connection when you talk to most players, when you talk to most game designers. There's some deep connection between tokens and chips and Web3 and poker in a way that is far deeper than almost all other categories. Maybe I'm biased, but there's just this intuitive string that connects these. It, yeah, we have data to indicate there's a strong overlap. But some people even kind of espouse theories. One of the reasons why kind of Web3, crypto, blockchain stuff really took off in America is because at the same time when Bitcoin was getting populated was because online gambling and online poker was banned. So like literally the people who are really big, like there's actually a lot of data to indicate this. The people who are really big in online poker quickly shifted to the blockchain markets and blockchain activities. But that's a tangent. It is pretty well established that there's a strong overlap between poker and the blockchain. Yeah. So let me just jump into this. So we know that the way the game works is when you bet, GCHIPS are emitted, right? But that doesn't necessarily determine the distribution, right? So players do get half of the GCHIPS emitted. So if you're betting a lot and you're playing at the right tables, you're going to get your GCHIPS, right? So we chose this number of 50% for a reason, because we're very players drive good games. So what is interesting about this game is we're going to be heavily working with the node ecosystem. So we're going to be releasing nodes, like where Poker Play does not have nodes. This game, GalaChain Poker, will have table nodes. So all the node owners will get 30% of the GCHIPS emitted, which is a lot. But the reason why we decided that is we want to build this poker ecosystem from the ground up. So this is Web3, and we have to start thinking like Web3 people, where you only grow, thrive, and build something significant because of community, and node owners are the backbone of our community. So they'll be powering our AI system, which we can go into shortly. But one of the reasons why I think Gala has done so well in terms of its great publicity, its virality, its reach, its great player data is because it's always focused on a node ecosystem, right? Like people who own a node will want to kind of shout from the rooftops about Gala. GalaChain Poker, we're taking a very similar approach. So when you own a node, you're really cementing your ties to our community, and it's going to create greater viral mechanisms from the way we see it. So this is the reason why we value node owners so much. Associated with that, we're going to create a referral pool. This is one pretty big difference between us, GalaChain Poker, and our other poker game. Is we're going to start creating an ecosystem based on virality, right? Poker is more fun with your friends. Anyone can tell you that. So initially, we'll just have a referral pool. start working with, let's say, top tier web influencers, Web3 influencers, other Web3 communities. Eventually, we'll build out like a more robust referral system where you could eventually get 10% of all the GCHIPS they get. So let's say I refer my 10 friends on a daily basis. If they're getting GCHIP, I get GCHIP, right? So that's going to create an ecosystem that really thrives, right? Because you can check any one of our discords. Games are more fun when you play with your friends. And if I'm literally being rewarded to get my friends to play, that is, I personally think that's a game changer.
You heard it here, folks. Not only do you get to rub your friends blind when you bring them into the ecosystem, you also get the passive benefit. It's a win-win.
Yeah. That's actually a great line. I will start using that. Yeah, and then the last 10%, some of it goes to Gala, is we want to actually have and be a great caretaker for the ecosystem, and then 2.5% goes to the founder node owners because they again are the backbone of Gala. So, next up. So one of the things that we're gonna really pursue here is GCHIP as a gaming AI token. It will be Gala's first AI gaming token. In addition, from my research, it's really the first prominent AI gaming token. We know AI is a hot buzzword, but what's interesting about poker is that AI is like very much into the game. So if you go to any modern day poker site, you either are playing against bots or people who are using like different hand strength meters. So it becomes a whole new kind of meta of the game. So we understand that's something we can't actually go against because in almost every single poker game that is of significant size, there is some sort of like AI suggestion meter, etc. We want to create utility for GCHIP. We want to create a utility for GCHIP. So one of the things we're working on is one of the things we're working on is one of the things we're working on is Poker AI. So if you click on it, you can use your GCHIP to kind of get guidance on how to best play. So if you get like next side, let's just say you click on the green button in the bottom right hand corner, immediately there will be some guidance telling you to bet, or you click on this next slide.
So super duper, as we're talking about chips right now, I have to ask, chips transitioning to the new game, how is that going to work? And is it a thing?
So the question is, can my chips from Poker Go Play be transferred to GalaChain Poker? Right now, these are two totally separate games. So they'll operate as such. However, you can, contact our good friend Ventit, and maybe he can work something out with you. Just contact him on Discord. But yeah,
Awesome.
these are two totally separate games. Will be two separate ecosystems. The reason for that is just there's just a lot of technical complexity to that for right now. But eventually we will continue to expand the GCHIP and its use cases to ideally to other poker sites, other poker apps. One of the ideas like we're working on is basically GCHIP like and the node ecosystem fueling real hand strength meters across multiple poker sites. So imagine you going to like pokerstars.com, put in your GCHIP, and then this meter will actually tell you how you to best play on PokerStars. that's like an idea we're internally discussing, and something that we're extremely pumped about.
Great.
Yeah, the other
So,
thing I go on.
sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, the other thing I just want to also emphasize is we're changing a bit of the core game in GalaChain Poker to also focus on kind of higher thrills. So if you can skip to like I think 2 slides from now. We're working on new mini games. So this will be in GalaChain Poker. It uses the Web3 firehit called Crash Gambling. So while you're playing poker, right, you can do uh, fun mini games like that. So I know like our Discord community consistently asks, when can we do craps? When can we do slots? When can we do roulette? We're actively working on new mini games. Poker is just the start. So this is also what's really exciting to us. It's building out a whole ecosystem of exciting titles. But this is also the reason why we sort of branched out to 2 games. We're really pushing the idea of an ecosystem that thrives and lives on GalaChain. So yeah, GalaChain Poker is literally just the start. Oh, I think those are it for the slides themselves.
Awesome. I
I
have a burning question for our gold members. Are they going to get any special frames? Like, I think our gold members, we should give them a little something, you know? They're gold members.
Yeah, I can look into kind of benefits for gold members, founder node
Yeah.
owners, and things like that. Obviously, like we do appreciate the community. Um, yeah, in general, like we should keep looking into that. Like
Mhm.
I like the idea of like if you own a founders node, like you get like some special benefit. We should look
Absolutely,
into
because this is still part of, rewarding our community. And, without them, there's no us, right? So
it. Mhm.
that's where my thoughts are coming from. Now, you were talking about AI, and you said there was different levels of AI that you can buy into to help you play. Uh,
Yeah.
are-
So right now, the initial AI that we're working on developing will just be in GalaChain Poker. Eventually, this is the dream, right? Is we take all of the player data within our games and create this ultimate poker AI bot, which will tell you how to play and what to play and what to bet. So if you like study like deeply in poker AI, it's a constantly evolving like a field. So our theory is this: it's like if we can create a real poker AI bot using player data, um, and then actually helps you win on other poker sites, just a win for the ecosystem.
I like that quite a bit. Um, my other question, I'm sorry, I'm just like throwing all these questions at
Yeah.
you. Um, is there any limitations to region of who can play that we know of?
Yeah,
Because that's going to
yeah,
be a big one.
yeah. So we will be bound by the specific skill gaming like regulations. So not all regions will be allowed to play. Um, but if you're in the United States, if you're in most of the top regions, you should be able to.
Awesome. I like that. Um, hmm,
Well, I can start reading some of these questions. Okay.
absolutely. Now, are you able to tell us a little bit about, well, I guess get a little bit more in depth about like the whole payout system,
Yeah. So I mean, the way,
like the
yeah,
rewards? Yeah.
yeah. So
Sorry.
so the way the reward system works is the more you bet, um, especially bet on the right tables, then the more GCHIP you are.
Okay.
Um, yeah. So if you play at the right tables, you earn a lot more GCHIP. If you're just blowing the like kind of the, um, if you're blowing like the small like kind of the small players, you're not going to reward as much.
Awesome.
Just really quickly, Observer in Discord is asking, everyone is going to have a bot playing for them. So, from experience in poker games, you can either go with mathematically the best choice, or you can act on your gut. And even with the probabilities and everything, realistically, you would much rather make the guess yourself than just go with whatever is mathematically correct. It just feels better overall. That's at least for me the selling point in poker, making the decision yourself as opposed to relying on mathematics alone. So realistically, even if people are playing by using AI, there are some decisions that they would have to make themselves ultimately when the time comes.
So I'm seeing if some of the questions in the chat here. I know you already went through this, but can you again give us the key points of what the difference between Poker Go Play and GalaChain Poker is?
Cool.
Just for the ones that came in a little bit late.
Yeah. So with Poker Go Play, it's heavily invested in the sweepstakes model. So the more you win, the more sweepstakes entries you'll get. And then each week, you may or may not win in the sweepstakes, and you'll get Gala as a reward, right? In GalaChain Poker, when you play more and you bet more and you bet at the right tables, you'll earn more GCHIP, right? So those in the GCHIP it's going to be in your account. It's yours forever. You can do with what you want. Immediately, you can use it to purchase more chips for extended gameplay.
Fantastic. A great question from Chair Bandit here. Is there going to be any rake mechanic going towards the token burn or distribution? Sorry, I had like reading issues.
Yeah. So the way we control inflation in the game, right, to ensure like we don't have like runaway inflation where we're in the trillions, quadrillions, is we have a rake, but effectively we're giving like 90% of that rake back through to you, 50% of it in tradable tokens. So we of the rake we take, we burn half and give it back to you as tradable tokens. Yeah, like 40% we also give as bonuses.
I like that. Now, there's a lot of questions here for you. So let's start going down the list. Now, when Poker Go, or sorry, not Poker Go, when GalaChain Poker comes out, is it going to be a trial period or is it just going to be open and it's ready to play for everyone right away? Great question.
Okay. So, we will be doing a private beta test. The exact date still TBD. It should be pretty soon.
Great.
Oh, fancy. I see Brandon asking if GCHIP can be converted to Gala, considering it is a cryptocurrency. I would say yes.
Yeah, so anything on GSwap can be swapped to like any token, right?
Yep.
So we'll be listing this token on GSwap. So literally, if you collect GCHIP, you can immediately exchange it for E-Time, for example, Eternal Paradox.
Yep. A really quick plug for GSwap and GalaChain generally. If you did want to swap something on GalaChain, there are no gas fees for just for moving your tokens around. So you wouldn't have to pay the ridiculous fees you would pay on Ethereum just to move things around. And on top of that, the commissions in GalaSwap are very minimal. So anything you want to swap around, anything you want to do, you can do that freely. Just visit the GalaSwap website.
So I see another question here. Thank you, Mark. So is there a daily chip collection or any to play each day?
Yeah, so the way the game is going to be structured is every day you'll get like bonuses every few hours, right? Because we just always want people to play all the time. So every 4 hours you can log in, get free chips, and then earn your G chip that way.
Nice. So you get a daily login bonus then.
Yep, exactly.
Nice.
Oh, gotta love
I
those.
like it.
I keep seeing blackjack coming up in the
Yes,
chat.
I've been seeing that too.
We sort of covered this, but I'm guessing the community really wants you to consider blackjack to be up there.
Yeah, we're definitely looking into it.
Any ancient frame holder news? I like that. Great question.
Yeah, so if you own a frame in Poker Go, it'll still work. The sweepstakes will still go strong. It'll still continue to provide utility in that game. It won't be applicable. At least we don't have plans right now for it to be applicable in GalaChain Poker. Just the reason is it creates a lot of kind of technical issues with both the economy and other aspects. We are looking into specific rewards like there for these frame holders, where it's potentially you can burn your frame to get some special benefit. That's still TBD.
Good to know.
Interesting.
All
So
right. So
eventual interoperability is not out of question. It's just going to take a lot of work, is what I hear.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, no, it's so just with these with frames, they'll still continue to be very useful in Poker Go play. Right now there is no we won't have immediate utility in GalaChain.
So I have a. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry, but yeah. So Poker Go Play is here to stay. Is what it comes down to.
So my question for you was, what are you the most excited about with GalaChain Poker? Like, what is the most exciting feature that I guess you like or you find the most fascinating? What are you the most excited about?
I'm always most excited by our community since they always buy everything. Definitely love seeing their Discord comments every day on how excited they're to play. But I would say the gameplay feature I'm most excited about is just GCHIP. I think that is going to really revolutionize the poker space. I think we are going to enter the next level of poker gaming when users can actually freely trade chips amongst each other. Right? If you play Zynga poker, if you play any poker game, you'll quickly see a kind of gray market appear. So, and then people do these roundabout ways to kind of give each other chips. Right? It happens very quickly in every game. And it's actually a sign that you have a good game. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So what we're trying to do is make the gray, kind of bring light to the gray market and really empower players to do what they want to do. So yeah, that to me is really the most exciting player empowerment.
That's very cool. Now, I was reading through our blog here, and I'm seeing how sorry, you spend the chips and then there's multipliers. Can you tell me a little bit more about these multipliers and how you guys came to this idea of multipliers? Because that's interesting because these are real tokens, you know?
Okay, so our number one goal is always to drive the most fun gameplay, right? And the way you have the most fun gameplay is if the stakes feel real to everyone there. If you're playing at a table and your balance is like 1 trillion and my balance is at like 1,000, you will not feel the same tension, anxiety, stress, all right, like that I am, right? So, and that creates a very um like unfavorable sort of gameplay because you're just going to bet big every time, right? Eventually, like I will go broke if you just keep bullying. So the way the math works is you get more GCHIP based on kind of the ratio of how much you bet in a room versus your balance. So you're always going to be rewarded more if you're playing in the right rooms. Okay. Um, so each room is going to be far more competitive, and like the person playing against you also has like a similar chip balance. So it's just going to become far more competitive than kind of these people who have huge amounts of chips, but they just enjoy farming from kind of these smaller players.
I see a question here from Mark Lavana. So, will there be tournaments or just free play? Open play, sorry.
Sorry, I got totally lost because I was on YouTube and I was watching myself, but there's like a 2 second lag. I'm
Yes,
like,
there's a delay.
I'm doing like this hand gesture.
You're like, it's not matching. Why?
What am I doing?
What's happening? Okay, now I'm back to the other streaming platform. So my shell shock is now over. Would you be able to restate this question?
Yeah. So, will this have tournaments or just open play?
We'll have Sin Go. We'll have Texas. I mean, we'll have PLO, and we'll continue just to iterate on those.
Okay, so realistically, everything you want out of a poker game and then some.
Yeah, and we're constantly like looking into more feature sets. The one I really want to see are like clans or guilds because that I think could be really fun. But that's still TBD.
And this question is from me. So the nodes are called Texas Hold'em nodes. Is there a particular reason they're called that? Are there more different nodes to be expected?
Yeah, so right now the nodes are for the game, all the game, uh, GalaChain, right? So what happens in CityGo will feed these nodes. What happens in the normal Texas Hold'em will feed these nodes. Let's say it gets really huge, right? And we have slots, we have blackjack, we have craps. An idea we're open to is just more nodes, right? For like different rooms, because we do want to empower node owners to promote like certain rooms, certain games. It's an idea we're playing with, but right now we're focused solely on poker. So these nodes are for the game.
So,
Yeah, go on.
sorry, I was going to ask, since we're on the topic of nodes, how many are available, and are they available for purchase already?
So we're releasing them early next week.
Okay.
We're only releasing a small batch of them. We're only going to release like 200 of them in the beginning. In terms of total supply, that number hasn't been fully like it's not etched in stone. The current number I'm talking with the team is around 2,400 to 3,000, but again, I can't make any like serious promises on that. But that so when you see on the Gala store, there will be a limit of like 2,400 or 3,000. But way it will work is we'll only sell 200 in the beginning, at like some super low price. It's like I think only $400. So literally, like those 200 people who get the nodes will get literally 30% of the distribution. It's going to be crazy, crazy really. but yeah, I can actually transition more to the node pricing. Um, so yeah, first early next week, maybe Mark. Um, uh, sorry, just let your slide. Uh, yeah, so early next week, maybe Monday night, we release the node sale. The first 200 will get it. There is no limit on the number you can purchase, and these will be Node NFTs, right? This will be the first time we directly at launch sell Node NFTs. Um, so yeah, we'll sell them for around 400. The next batch will be much more expensive. The next batch of 200 or so will be around $600, and the next batch of like 200 will be like in the 800s at least. So we're trying to do two things. One, we're trying to like not expand the node like the number of node owners too much too quickly, because we really want to kind of really QA the system and continue to iterate first before we really expand the node community. And then the second is like, it's also just fun for us. It's like we love seeing like these like we're really pumped just to see like these 200 to 400 people just have like so much GCHIP. It's going to be really fun.
I'm excited to play. Like, I
I
can't wait to
am,
get in there.
yeah, I am so excited for the nodes specifically. Now that I know they're node NFTs, would you be able to talk a little bit about how they work?
Yes, please.
Yeah, so this started, I think, with the Common Ground World team, but because Scala continues to innovate, one of the things that we're doing with this is a node NFT. So the difference is it's going to be much more. It's going to be when it's a node NFT, it's far easier to get the node and then send it to your friend, sell it, swap it, whatever. As opposed to just like a normal node license, right? That is like you can sell it on I think OpenSea, like any of the top marketplaces. So it's going to be very different from our from our previous node sales. We're always about empowering the players, always empowering people through ownership, and node NFTs are literally just the logical conclusion of how nodes should work.
Really quickly, for those of you watching from Twitter or X, we do see your questions. So if there's anything you want to know, do ask. We will answer. I see To Be Frank, and he says no limit, and that he's going to purchase 25% of them, likely. So
Please,
looks like.
please, please don't part like or the reason why like a lot of things we do here is we're just trying to maximize fun, right? We're trying to like make it so it's like a Black Friday type experience where it's like the first person can kind of come in and get the cheap TV, right? Like that's the experience. Just please don't be the first person own all the nodes, and then on the GalaChain poker node channel will just be one guy named Steve. And I'm like, how's your day, Steve? You own 30% of GCHIP. That's great.
So, folks, make sure to get your beach chairs and tents. Start setting them up because you never know.
That's right. So, Kid Ninja Crypto here, I see your question about whitelisting the 200 nodes. I don't know if that's a thing. I don't know if we can do that.
So okay, just me personally, I did advocate for specific people to get whitelisted. Kid Ninja, like Cloud Kicker, I did specifically put your names in. Unfortunately, I did get denied. The ground rule we have is no favoritism. Yeah, I really wanted to be the guy, be like, yeah, like I know all the node information, but unfortunately, I can't do that.
I do agree with the community about, just I guess in a way, yes, I like the whitelist, but at the same time, the fairness thing is a thing, you guys. Like, Oh, we
Here-
can't
here-
just really pick 200 and be like, you guys, okay, so you guys get them first.
yeah,
I
what
don't
we
know.
can do is probably post a link on the because we haven't publicly announced exact day. Again, it's probably the 29th, but we haven't exact date or hour yet. What we could probably do is post a link on the Discord, right? And whoever sees that link first, then in that channel could probably scoop those nodes. I think maybe that will
Mm.
create the right balance between people who are super engaged. Maybe that's what. It's just an idea.
It's a tough one, right? If we don't really regulate it, sorry. Like there is a possibility of it going completely south, as in like everyone just sorry, not everyone, like maybe 5 people get all of them, right? Like it, we got to be fair, but at the same time, it doesn't matter what time we release and put up the link. It's going to be unfair to someone around the world, right? So
Yeah.
it's hard to make it super fair for
Yeah.
everyone, and I think you guys already took all of that into consideration when you guys thought about when to release, how, and the rules behind it.
It really does break my heart because like the people on the Discord are always my favorites, right? Because I do see them playing every day, coming in with their excitement. So obviously I'm extremely biased towards them. Yeah, it breaks my heart, honestly. Try not to cry right now. But,
Like I would
yeah.
love if we were able to, have everyone at least get something, right? Or like get a fair chance to, say yes or no, they want it or they don't. Because, there's more than a few times where there's things that come out and they're for sale and it's a certain window and people miss it and they're like, what if we wanted it too, right? But we were sleeping during that time, or they're in the wrong time zones or whatever it is.
Yeah, like let me talk to let me talk to the team.
I'm sorry, we're getting complicated.
Everyone, it worked.
No, here's what I can do. I'll definitely be the advocate. Like I don't think I can convince anyone. Because there's usually it's they're trying to think from a more meta perspective of like, here's how the game is going to be for the next X years. I think from the heart, it's maybe I've just watched too much anime.
No, not at all. Like sometimes it's good to have, perspectives from, all around, because the dev team probably isn't going to hear everything frontline as, the community team does, right? So if we have it all together, it's kind of nice. You get that perspective and you get to hear from all angles, right? And then we put our heads
Mhm.
together and solve problems. So
Mhm. Mhm.
sorry, I've just made it super complicated for you guys. Sorry, super duper.
Yeah, people want like okay, so I'm reading 5 nodes per account, 2 nodes per account. Yeah, oh my god, like one of my good friends did say it's like you're gonna crash the site immediately. I know, but it's also that's the fun, It's like it's like, don't you want the Black Friday experience? Like, don't you want the? It's really
Bright side,
exciting.
on the bright side, you don't have to pay upwards of like $150 worth of gas.
Yes. Oh man.
Remember the gas wars with the Vox boxes?
Those were like $500 to $700 gas fee.
Oh yeah,
Like, no,
insane.
thank you. Like, hi,
Absolutely
that's
insane.
rent,
Yeah,
like,
exactly. Yeah, a month's worth of food right there.
So I was just reminded of a question I needed to ask. Is GalaChain Poker gonna have bots the way that Poker Go does?
I'm probably in the smaller rooms, right? Just because you want player liquidity there, you want
Mhm.
people like because in the end, right, all the top tier players are going to be in the bigger tables. So we don't want any of that there. We're always working on just kind of better security system. Like what always happens is like people blame us for a lot of they're good bots and they're bad bots. Good bots are actually providing you liquidity and people to play like you know to people to constantly play against. So if you see any of the top games, right, you're like World Series of Poker, Zynga Poker, there are always going to be sometimes where there are bots. However, it is like we understand it is an unfun experience, especially when someone starts scripting their own. So we've worked a lot on our system to get kind of the more nefarious spots out of the game. Um, but yeah, it is a tough balance because one thing that does happen is that players do kind of farm bots and exploit them, and then rake up like crazy high chip balances, which threatens the economy, right? Because then GCHIP has very little utility, and then like it becomes an unfun game and things like that. So we're trying to think of it from like all these perspectives. Um, yeah, that's just me pontificating. But to answer the question, in the smaller rooms, we will have some. We'll eventually have probably systems be like, I don't want to play against these people, and or bots, and then you only play against real people. But if you do make it to the top rooms, like, you'll only be playing against real initially.
Oh, I'm gonna really quickly snipe a question from Anita.
Yes.
Yeah, Mark Lavana is asking if there's a possibility to host tournaments and whitelist the winners of the poker tournaments for the nodes at some point.
So it's always so okay. Here, I've become more and more aware of all the legal stuff. Okay, so here's kind of why we structure things the way we do. It is very you'll always run into gambling laws. If you give any rewards, real life rewards, based on games of chance, right? Unfortunately, poker is, even though it involves crazy amounts of skill, there's still elements of chance, so it's considered a game of chance. So if we gave a real reward, which is being on a whitelist, based on a non-chance based activity, we would run into some issues.
No fun.
By the way, hi Zorro. It's been a while. Haven't seen you in a while.
Hi Zoro. Subwork is asking if these nodes will be purchasable with Gala.
It should be, yeah.
How about credit cards?
Should be, yeah.
Beauty.
let me call up Discovery and get a new credit card.
Don't.
Can I put mine on yours too?
now I'm so concerned because everyone's like, it's gonna go so quickly. Yeah.
So what we need you to do is take it back to the team and talk about it. You know, the community has spoken.
Yep.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a good thing we brought this up. It's a good thing we're discussing this.
Absolutely.
This is why we do this.
Yeah, no, but this is for the mathy people. Like they have all these graphs and models and stuff. They're like
Pepe Silvio.
Yeah, yeah. It's just like you see all these numbers and stuff, and they're like, this is for the good of the community. I'm like,
yeah.
okay.
So what you do if they say no, you go in with angry stickers, okay, and you start plastering them all over the board, and then you tell them this is what our community looks like right now. Since you're not listening,
and then they'll be like, there's just some guy named Pepe Silvia. He keeps talking. Keep talking about the limits and then they'll be like, Seaman, the word's not Pepe Silvia, it's Pennsylvania. Oh
my But yeah, we appreciate all of you guys and your input. Like, this is how we make games better. And I know it seems like we don't listen to you guys, but we do. We really do. I promise we do. And there's a lot of thought that goes into creating anything behind the scenes. So send us your feedback, good, bad. It doesn't matter what it is. Don't be abusive, okay? Constructive feedback.
Criticism.
Constructive.
Exactly.
Fantastic. Now, do you guys have any burning questions for Super Duper here? Because now is the time to ask.
And while we're waiting for that, I did see Omaha High Low come up a couple of times.
Yes.
I'd have to check if that's in the plans. Honestly, I should know these things by heart, but
There's way too many things going on, man.
Yeah, the community knows like way too many things. It's like they're purposely gaming me, you know, like to stop me.
So, when are we gonna have a gala tournament?
We should start scheduling more of these tournaments.
I think so too. I was gonna say we should have our best players play the community, but it should really be the community's best players playing us.
It's gonna be a massacre.
You guys have seen me play poker, okay? I'm not great. I will not be starring in any of these, okay? I'll just get hustled. I'll be like, take my money. It's fine. I'll just sit here and cry.
Yep. I'm there with you. I mean, Suman, I'm here for it. I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm here to help with the logistics side of things. We love community events. We love hosting them.
Absolutely.
Not necessarily getting beat up, but if it has to be done, it has to be done.
Yeah, I do like the idea. It's like, oh, you own these nodes, or you own a node, you get on a whitelist. Oh, maybe you own a Avatar Ancient Frame, you get on a whitelist. Or maybe you played Poker Go Play a lot. I don't know. Again, we're not supposed to show favoritism. It's tough. It's tough.
Chair Bandit, I see you. You're banned from our tournaments.
maybe the real whitelist is who is my friend. I think that's not chance based. That's not chance based.
Yeah, go big or go home, man. May as well go all the way at this point.
So remember, the more you play, the more you spend, the more you collect, right?
You don't even have to spend. Just the more you play,
Just
the more you
play
spend.
more to
Yeah.
collect
Just be
more.
good. Just get good.
Like if
What
you're
if you're
good,
not good and you still play? Do you get to collect more? Because what if I'm a shitty player and there's just no winning and I keep putting hands down and I keep betting?
So
Is that just a losing hand?
Yeah, I mean you'll still get your GCHIP, right? But let's say you'll go bankrupt more quickly than say Kid Ninja, and then right? Yeah.
No favoritism here, but
That is not
Yeah.
very encouraging.
Yeah. So if you guys spend the exact same amount, he would have a lot more GCHIP than you, right? Just because he's a more skilled player.
All right, if you see Kid Ninja at the table, just run.
So how does GalaChip distribution work with the AI bots? And the bots also get distributed chips, or are they excluded from distribution? That's a great question.
They'd be excluded from a mission, right? So their activities wouldn't contribute to a mission. It's only real life players. They wouldn't also be part of the distribution.
Oh, Chair Bandit, really quickly, the only wild joker I see is the one that's stealing chairs.
So are we gonna? Yes. So Super Duper, take it away. Tell us all the key dates.
By the way, I don't know if the audience knows, we get does the audience know we get Paul in our ears?
Yeah. So
They know,
good Paul. Yes.
Okay. It's I didn't want to be I'm hearing voices. Okay. So today we're announcing it. The node teaser goes live, I would say probably Monday night. That's my guess. Could be Tuesday. Could be whenever I feel like it. It's one of those days. Game launches in May. Still working out the exact dates. And then the second node sale teaser goes live. So the first nodes will probably be are going to be around will be $400. Immediately, the next tranche will be 600, and then we'll keep jacking up to like 800, 1,000, 1,200. So yeah, the first 200, yeah, you guys are going to do really well. Now I feel so bad reading all these comments. You guys are all saying that you're gonna do so well. Oh man. But you know, Walmart does the same thing, so I can't. Okay, but this is the key dates. I don't want to put any promises, but you know, but maybe by the end of May, beginning of June, this becomes the greatest poker game in the history of poker games. So
That would be cool. Greatest poker game ever.
no, I mean, I'm very bullish. You know, I'm bullish every day.
I like that. That's the spirit.
Okie doke.
Well, thank you all so much for joining us today. If you guys don't have any other questions, then we will be letting you guys go for the night. So you guys can go ahead and enjoy your weekend.
But before you go, make sure to like, subscribe, and join our Discord community. Links are in description. Right here somewhere, right there.
Don't forget to hit that notification bell as well, okay? So, with that being said, everyone have a wonderful weekend and evening, and we will catch you guys next week. Bye.
tryna see some, wanna ride with me, cause she know I'm gon' be something. But I already got a B-side, hit her with the peace sign. I don't know no one, nothing. Cause ain't nobody do it like this, been through it like this. I'ma take whatever coming, I'ma handle my shit, be a man about it. Fresh cut with the click for the hoes in the whip. Now I'm holding down my set. If you gon' come with me, then you better come correct. Cause a homie don't forgive, homie never gon' forget. Say you ride or die, but it's cap, cap, cap. I don't know about that. I don't know about that, no, you don't wanna know about that. I don't know about that, no, all I hear is cap, cap, cap. I don't know if I'll make it, me and the boys just blazing. First one to blunt rotation, fuck with no basics. Get the fuck out my way, bitch, I broke out, you ain't finna break in. Fucked up is the state that I stay in. First seed, good luck with the play-in. Keep it cold if you're speaking on the phone. I've been chillin', laying low, and you don't need the reason. What's next? Shots fired in your text. You about to pull the pin, I'm about to hit the deck. I'ma flex on them, either fear or respect. Cause the game never ends when they coming at your neck. Ay, and the truth hurts. She's saying that she ill, getting drilled like her tooth hurts. Trying to be my lady, you must be some kind of crazy. Thinking that you're gonna change me, I don't know about that.